Well, hello everyone, and welcome to That Yearbook Podcast with those yearbook people. Sabrina and Timothy here with you today, and we are in season 3, episode 7 already.
That is crazy.
I know, it's flying by.
This year is just flying by, and I don't know if you're doing the same thing I am, but talking to lots of schools with those last minute changes.
Oh, yes.
Trying to get that book where they want it to be, and most important, getting that book done. I mean, can you believe it's February already?
This was the fastest January I feel like I've ever had. Like, I feel like January always takes forever, and it was like gone. It's finished.
Right. Unbelievable. Nuts. Yeah.
Who would have guessed it?
Who would have guessed it? A lot of great stuff going on out there. I'm seeing,
yes.
About the 2026 yearbooks are going to be here before we know it.
I need them to get here. I need to start looking at some new stuff. That's right. Like I'm excited to see. I feel like, what we get to do when we're like critiquing books, like we're seeing like a page here, a page there, a page there, I want to see like the whole puppy put together. I need to, we need y'all to finish those books so we get some new things. I need to clear off my shelves and get new stuff in there. We're excited. So I know you guys are in the throes of it right now. You are, if it's February in yearbook world, you are grinding it out right now. So our hearts go out to you. We love you. We're here to support you in this time. You can do it.
If you get through February with no tears, it's a great year.
That's huge.
And it can happen. It can happen. That's right. That's right. So we just had actually the privilege, the honor of hosting. You'll see in our outfits, hosting the prestigious President's Collection videos award from our 2025 award-winning books, and it was fabulous, right? Like it was just to me, it's one of my favorite things we do all year, because we get to really dig in to the great work that our schools are putting out there, and never ceases to blow me away when you really start dissecting and really digging into what these books are doing. It could blow any professional publication out of the water. Oh my goodness. It was awesome. I think you can see them behind you, but I have all 30 of our award-winning actual books right here. And it was true. We had the privilege of really going page by page, JPEG by JPEG, and trying to pull out the spreads, the mods, the themes, the stories that made these books so unique. Because what we're trying to do here is help you see what characterizes really yearbook greatness in so many ways. And not that there's a formula, because there really isn't, but just to give you a little handle on what these schools are doing that make them stand out. And again, we talked about that just a minute ago. You advisors and you staffs are out there doing amazing work. At that professional level that really is amazing for today's high school students. I mean, you are doing something that's really unique and really special. And this process of putting together a crazy old yearbook is going to take you to great places in whatever you do. You don't have to be a journalist. You don't have to be a designer, but it's going to teach you about project management and what is good and what's amazing and how to work with people. And it's just fantastic.
It really is. It's a great testament to the work that everybody is doing out there that is innovative, that is fresh. And again, this is such a great time for you, hopefully for you guys to be listening to this as a reminder, like it's worth it. It's so worth it. Keep going, because what comes out at the end, that finished product, is stellar. And these books that we're looking at in our 2025 President's Collection are incredible. And so part of why we do this
is to celebrate you guys, like to celebrate those award-winning books and say, man, like high fives all around. You knocked it out of the park and we're so proud. But we also did a little bit differently this year. So we want to talk about today.
Yeah.
What are the top 5 things that Jim and I learned from going through this process of really looking at all of these fabulous books and then thinking through it in the terms of these 6 different areas that award-winning books really focus on. We came up with a list of 5. Our top 5.
Our top
things,
5.
Our top 5 that we learned from looking at the President's Collection. So we will just jump right in there with number 1.
Number 1 is there's not always a right or wrong. There's not one way to do anything. And that's really reassuring. There's not a formula.
Yeah.
There are some things you want to keep in mind, but it's not a checkoff list of you got to do this or you can't do that. It's more about the idea of consistency from, what you start with to what you end with, and then having a clear purpose in why you do what you do. And our 6 topics again are theme, design, coverage, writing, photography, and then the last one is a reference section, because we've seen reference sections when they're left off, you may get right out of the pile anyway. So there's not one way to do anything. And that was reassuring to see that as we looked at all these books.
And I feel like sometimes people actually get intimidated by that. So if you're listening and you're like, then what do I do? If there's no right or wrong, how do I know what to do? Watch these videos. That's how you know. That's because we're going to go over what to do. But as we look through all these books, like some people set up their reference sections differently than others. They both were award-winning books, but they kind of did things their own way. That's great. I kind of love that, So yes, there are some things that are truly like, hey, we need to do this. We don't want to do this. But there were a lot of things we noticed that if you're consistent, if there's a purpose, if there's a logic and a reason behind it, and if you execute it beautifully, you can kind of do your thing. And that is kind of freeing, but we know it can be intimidating too. So watch these videos. You'll figure it out.
All right. Number 2, this is attention to detail is everything.
Everything.
If I were going to say what made me successful as an advisor, is that was my number 1 call to action is we're going to be on top of the details.
Yeah.
We are going to, know that there's this amount of space between your headline and your subhead. We're going to know that every story is going to have a certain kind of lead, different kind of lead that really tells an amazing story. All these things, there's so many individual little details that make the books rise above the other ones.
Absolutely. And there's thoughtfulness that goes in there. It's like you're proofing things, you're editing things, you're making sure they're perfect, but you're also being so thoughtful. It's not just big picture, it's those little detail moments that really set some of these books apart from the rest. Like we looked at some books that were really great about how they carried their theme out in mod packages and in their headlines and how that really reinforced their theme message. Or there were some that were really great about headline design and consistency there, or some that had really special, I think McKenna Bush calls them Easter eggs. I call them like little themey things, but like her word is better.
You and your themey thing.
My themey things. But they're just little like theme surprises, like things that really reinforce the theme that it's very easy to blow past that. But if you're really being thoughtful and you have a lot of attention to detail, you find those extra little moments that help reinforce theme message, that help make that design a little better, that help perfect that story angle. And that is huge in setting these books apart. That's why they're award winners.
That's right. And this is where photography comes in. We're at the time where if you watch a few YouTube videos and you practice and you watch some of our materials that we have, you really should be able to start getting amazing photos.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a mystery if you have the equipment and the people that want to put the time into it. But that's really important. And then little things like, do you have a subhead that doesn't start with students? Do you have captions that follow all four of the points? Little details are really important. Number three, coverage is king.
Reigns supreme.
It reigns supreme. And I talked about, it's like a treasure hunt. You got to go out there and tell the stories of your school year that need to be told. Everybody's got a story. There are things going on at your school and in the culture that need to be talked about. Great books are rich with coverage. In fact, this may be the number one thing. You look at these award-winning books and you can't believe how much they put in there that really opens up what that school is like. And I want to go to most of these schools because so much cool stuff is going on.
Yeah. And it's a variety too. So like, that's another thing I think we noticed a lot of is these fabulous books in the President's Collection. They're not just focused, they're focused on coverage. Like there's a lot of stories to be told. They're getting a lot of different students included in their books, but they're doing it in a lot of different ways. So it's not just, yes, I covered every club. Yes, I covered every sport. Yes, I covered some student life and academics, blah, 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 blah. Like they're really doing a good job of doing that same kind of coverage deeper and in a variety of different formats. So some of them are content-driven design versus mod packages versus feature profiles, like in-depth storytelling and Q&As. And they're really showcasing their staff's journalistic skills that they can do it all. And I think that's really important. And when you really focus on that variety, I think it does naturally help you increase your coverage.
Absolutely. Number four, great writing still matters. I mean, back in our former lives, Sabrina and I are English teachers, and we'd like to see those great stories. We don't have to have a 750-word story on every spread. In fact, I wouldn't recommend that. But sometimes you need a rich storytelling format that really gets at the heart of what's important with this one topic. So, I'm going to flip through your book and I'm going to see how many of those kind of long form stories do you still have that are necessary, that you've discovered that need to be told in that long format. And great writing it's not just those long form stories. It's your theme writing. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different animal. It's your short form kinds of things. But if they're well written, and we've been saying this for a long time, people will read them.
Yes. People always say like, nobody reads the story, so why do we even put them in there? That's not the audience's fault. Maybe a little bit, but like a lot of times it's our fault. We are not making that writing engaging. And when I was reading through some of the stories that we're trying to find like good examples of stories to put in President's Collection, there were some I was like, okay. And then every once in a while I'd get to one that had a lead and I'd be like, praise be, like, there it is. Like, this is interesting. I want to know more. Like, you hooked me in. That's great writing. And if we can get that in our books, if we prioritize it too, because that's something that it kind of falls to the wayside. And then we get these stories that like, I guess they're there and they're correct, but they're not engaging, If we prioritize telling great stories and telling them well and make that a focus, that's a game changer.
And if you're not an English teacher, that's okay. We have come up with a lot of great materials. We boot camp last year had a lot of great writing in it, how to do it. We did one on, writing a feature story the year before. So check out some of our resources. But here we are. We're at number 5. The fifth thing, the importance of a theme-rich book. We're calling it a theme-rich book. What was the word you used in the video? It's
riddled.
Riddled.
I want your book to be plagued by theme.
That's right. So every page you just see echoes of the design, of the look, of the words. It's a theme-rich book. And sometimes what we saw, it was astounding how well they did it. Sometimes it was with shape. Sometimes it was with color. Sometimes it was with the individual mods. But you just see this concept being carried out from start to finish. And that really, really makes a difference. It's not enough just to have a couple of word theme, a cutesy theme, and 2 pages, 4 pages at the beginning, and then boop, then we go rogue. It's gone. Maybe it comes back in the closing, but we want to see it throughout.
Yeah, I feel like as a group of yearbook people, I feel like we've really gotten very good about understanding visual theme. Like we understand like our colors need to be consistent, our fonts need to be consistent. Like we need to have a look and we can carry that throughout. But it's the story and the ability to carry that message throughout that's a little bit more I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Like it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more conceptual, it's not as concrete, and so it's a little harder to carry the story throughout your book. That's what these award winners do beautifully, is they found a way to not just get the visual stuff, although that's important, but get the story. Like you were saying, the story is threaded throughout everything and every part of that book, and that message is clear from start to finish, above and beyond just those theme pages. Yeah.
Lots of themey things, if you will.
So many themey things. My favorite. I love it. Yes. And so there was a lot that we got out of, obviously, the going through these President's Collection books. It really is our honor. Like, it is our honor, our privilege. We get to go through and dig in and dissect. It's easy for us to sit here and just talk about all the work that you guys do. You're doing the hard part. Like, you're the ones creating this stuff. And we are amazed by it always. So we can't tell you how much we appreciate the work that you guys put into making these fabulous books, so that Jim and I get to sit here and talk about them for all the time. Yes.
And one last thing we want to throw in here is we want you to take advantage of all the resources that we already have. I mean, we work really hard about going into depth on all these concepts. This is just a little 20-minute video here, but you can get your book critiqued, and that will give you more information. We have a great video on what the judges are looking for from McKenna Bush and Andrew Young. And just we're pouring out lots of information all the time that we think
on what is helpful for you guys. We've got tons of training videos that are really relevant to this particular area of just even making your book better. Like, let's say you don't care about awards, you're not going to submit for awards, you just want to make a better book.
Yeah.
Look at this stuff. Like, it doesn't just have to be, I want the awards. Like, it could be, I just want to get better in photography. I want to get better at theme. I want to get better at design, or I want to give my kids something to strive for. Awesome. You know, this is great content for that. The trends videos that we come out with every year, our theme training videos that are coming out, those are also great resources as you start thinking of 2027 books, because we're finishing 2026. A lot of this stuff is a great place to look as you start planning and thinking for next year. So this year is kind of, in theory, for most of you, probably in the bag. Like, we're just now getting it done. You know, like, we know what we're doing. We're just have to execute it and finish. But as we're thinking of 2027, what's next? You know, what's that next thing that we're going to be working on? So think about trends, theme, all those things. And then one of our favorite videos that we've done in a while was the photojournalism one that we just did recently with Mark Murray. It was amazing.
So good.
So good. And that's such an easy, compact thing that people can really execute in their books today. Like, you don't have to wait till next year. Like, watch that video, start utilizing that to take that to the next level. And then our two favorite things,
we've been planning,
Jim and I's favorite part of year, Elite Weekends and Advisor Academy. You know, like, if you're really wanting to get on this track, if you want to make your book better, if you're wanting to even go to that awards track and you want to really be competitive and journalistic, Elite Weekend, there's nothing better. Like, you're going to get exactly what we're doing here blown up over an entire weekend, you know? And then Advisor Academy, some things are not, like, making a great yearbook isn't always just about the product itself. It's about the staff that's making it, what those processes look like, how we can streamline it, all that kind of stuff. So both of these workshops are huge in bringing you to that President's Collection level where we want you to be.
That's right.
For sure.
Well, hope you enjoy the President's Collection. Those 6 videos, I hope are helpful, and we had a lot of fun making them. So keep up the good work, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to That Yearbook Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your preferred platform. Happy yearbooking!